Learnex. English forever.
We're here at the FIFA Hall of Fame, and we have something really special in store for our Feedback Learnex viewers. What do we have in store for them, Mr. Daniel?
Ms. Marilyn, today we have a special tour at the Hall of Fame, and also we are discovering the different host stadiums that the World Cup is having in Russia 2018. Join us to see this trip.
I'm going to talk to you all about Learnex Stadium. Learnex Stadium was built back in 1950 to display the powerhouse that the Soviet Union could be in sports. It holds over 80,000 people, and that is the reason that it's going to be the home of the beginning and the end of what is the World Cup 2018 in Russia. Over $400,000 were spent on building this stadium, and a super interesting fact about Learnex Stadium is that this stadium, all of the arena and the center, because it was used in the Olympics in 1980, was gutted, lifted, and now it's been created and refurbished for what is a soccer stadium. So it's got grass, it's got all the special things, and that's Learnex Field. The next stadium that I'm going to talk to you about, or arena, is going to be Spartak. Spartak is located also in Moscow, and it's going to hold about 43,000 people. Spartak was first inaugurated in 2014, and they have now spent over $250,000 to be able to reestablish it, reconfigure it to the World Cup. It is home to the Premier League of Russia, and right now it is previously from the World Cup been home to the Confederations Cup, to the Premier League. Different matches have happened during that stadium. And outside of the stadium, which is really cool, there's a big bronze statue that's in the shape or designed after Spartan, and that's why it's called Spartak. Now St. Petersburg Stadium, which obviously is located in St. Petersburg in Russia. This stadium holds over 68,000 people, and it costs a little over $730 million. Now, that sounds like a lot. Well, it is a lot. And the reason that it's cost so much is because this stadium is basically Murphy's Law. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And now Russia is explaining that they're going to try that by the 14th or the initiation of the games, that the things that are wrong with the stadium will be fixed. But we'll see, and I guess we'll find out. But now the next one.
And we are here from the Hall of Fame of FIFA in Pachuca Hidalgo, where the greatest players become legends. And I am here to talk to you about the different stadiums that will host the World Cup in Russia 2018. One of them is the Fish Arena in Sochi that will receive 47,000 fans, 47 people who will be cheering for their favorite team. This arena costed $500 million. That's a huge amount of money. This is a funny thing with this stadium. We don't know what is going to happen after the World Cup because this stadium doesn't have a soccer team. Can you imagine that? We continue also with the Kazan Arena. This Kazan Arena will host 48,500 fans. Will be host of the first two games in the Group F, and also one game of quarterfinals and one semifinal. This stadium costed $400 million to be remodeled. A different arena that will host two games of the first round, one quarterfinals and one semifinal, is the Kazan Arena in Russia. This will host 48,000 fans, 48,000 people cheering for their favorite team. It hosted $250 million. This stadium was going to be demolished. It is an old arena, but since Russia was selected as the host nation, they decided to invest some money in order to become it into a first world arena. And trust me, it is. This is one of the most beautiful stadiums that Russia has to offer in this World Cup. And last but not least, we have the Samara Arena. This is one of the most beautiful stadiums that will be constructed in Russia for this World Cup. This architecture, usually it is located next to the Volga River, and it will host 48,000 people. This will be host of one of the most important matches, Spain versus Portugal, one of the hardest. Remember, you can see they're the most important players of La Liga. Now, this stadium costed $310 million. It started from zero, and well, it is going to be awesome to be there. And from a different hall, from this Hall of Fame, marvelous, beautiful, extraordinary, we keep talking about the stadiums in Russia 2018. And the next one is the Rostov Arena. This arena costed $307 million. We are going to suffer a lot of heat in that arena. That's why it has coolers inside of the stadium. Can you believe that? 48,000 people inside cheering and supporting their favorite team. Man, that gotta be hot. That's why they were installed, those coolers that are going to maintain a fresh environment perfectly to develop this beautiful game.
Feedback Learning.
¿Qué es Learnex?
Workouts.
Interbranches.
Massive activities.
Learning Tours. Y Learnex.
Special activities.
Descubre.
Vive.
Siente en inglés. En Learnex. Aprende inglés en Learnex. Inglés para siempre.
5001-9642. Feedback Learning.
The Nizhny Arena is going to host 45,700 people. It costed $310 million to be part of that. This one is one of the most challenging arenas that Russia had to have. Referees play an important part of the game. It is critical for them to give justice during a match, and they better perform properly at the Novgorod Arena. This arena will host the quarterfinals in the World Cup in Russia 2018. It is this close to get to the final, so they better perform properly, because the 45,000 fans that will be there, they need to be fair for them. Volgograd Arena. This new stadium, built on the old city of Stalingrad, is the house and will be the house of the new Senate from Russia. This house will host 45,000 fans who are going to be cheering during the first round and during the second round. Unfortunately, we are going to say goodbye to this stadium before quarterfinals. However, this is one of the most modern stadiums of the world, and we better take a good look to what they have to offer.
The next stadium is Yekaterinburg. This stadium is very unique because of its architectural structure. Also, it holds 35,000 people. But those 35,000 people, of those seats, 12,000 were supplemental or temporary seats. Now, something interesting is that these seats extend above the stadium in a very Harry Potter cricket game style. And so this makes it very interesting. Something else that's interesting is that over $200 million were spent on this stadium in order to get it up to par. And to avoid costs, this is the reason that they brought in temporary seating. The next stadium is AR. It's an abbreviation, and this is located in the city Saranska. Saranska was actually a surprise location for this year's World Cup because it's an extremely small location, a small city. But that hasn't stopped Saranska from stating that they're going to be one of the best and most warm and welcoming locations for this year's World Cup. Over $250 million have been spent, and the majority, or more than 80% of the stadium or all of its functions and things are temporary, which is very interesting considering that the other ones are a bit more permanent. The next stadium is Kaliningrado. Kaliningrado is located in the town of Kaliningrado, and the stadium is going to hold more than 35,000 people. It costs around $300 million to put together and to adjust the stadium for the FIFA World Cup specifications. Something interesting about this stadium is that it was actually, before World War II, located inside of Germany. So the authorities in Kaliningrado believe that this is going to bring more touristic attraction, more touristic people to this site. We've come to the end of this week's Feedback Learnex. I hope you all learned a lot of information. You're ready to travel, maybe not through an airplane, but maybe through your television screen, to visit Russia and to visit the stadiums and to enjoy what is this year's World Cup. Now, Mr. Daniel, we're here in Pachuca. Is there anyone in particular that you want to give thanks to?
Well, we want to thank the complete city. They received us, they treated us so well. I felt like a king today. But there are two people that I want to thank mainly. Mr. Alejandro Mijares and Mr. Javel Marine. They were awesome to give us the chances and the facilities to be here.
And don't forget, guys, next week, 9:15 p.m., your next edition of Feedback Learnex is going to have everything to do with the World Cup, so you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Don't miss it.
Feedback Learnex. English Forever. Estamos en sintonía. Feedback Learnex. English Forever. English Forever. Feedback Learnex.